have our Celebration Club shipment here for you, the 2023 spring release. I also have Ken here with us to talk about the wines, the cellaring, and the ageability of these big bottles here for you. Ken, these are all from the 2019 vintage. We have Carter, Latchkey, and Shea Vineyard. Did you want to talk a little bit about the 2019 vintage?
Yeah, this 19 is a year where we saw good acidity result from cooler season than we have been having in the last decade or so. That was really nice to see. With warmer years, you're going to lose acidity, and the wines will tend to be a little softer. They're very agreeable early as a result, which is nice. You can drink them sooner, but their aging pattern is probably a bit shortened. Not a lot. I mean, in the end, honestly, the conditions of aging, what your cellar is like, is so incredibly important. You can take a very warm vintage and still have a lot of life if you have a great cellar. But same wine from a cool vintage, same site, it will age longer because it has better acidity, a little more structure in the wine. 19 was a vintage like that, being cooler. Later in the year, we did have more structure, more acidity. The wines are definitely built for aging. They will evolve more slowly as a result. And by being in that format, essentially every time I think when you double the volume of wine, because the opening, the amount of oxygen transfer through that closure is the same as a normal size bottle of 750 ml. This is twice that, 1.5 liter. And so it's going to be essentially take twice as long to age. And that's really cool because the pattern is much longer. One of the things I suggest to people is if you find a wine you really love, buy it in different formats. Buy it in 375s that you can drink sooner, in a smaller format, because it will develop sooner. And have some 750s for that next stage when it hits that perfect mark where it's just awesome. And then have a 1.5 liter or a 3 liter where you really can extend the life of that wine and have it many years later when it hits its prime.
Wonderful. So we also have 3 different American viticultural areas here with Latchkey, Carter, Shea here. Do you want to talk about the 3 different AVAs that they're going to receive?
Absolutely. So Latchkey would be Dundee Hills AVA. Carter would be the Eola Amity American Viticultural Area. And then you have Shea, which is in the Yamhill Carlton Viticultural Area. The first 2 are volcanic sites, the parent material and when you talk about, when I say volcanic or marine sediments, I'm talking about what's below soil. There's a big misunderstanding among most people, even in our own industry. And when they talk about their places, and they often say, my soil's this, my soil is that. When in reality, when it comes to world-class wine, it's never about the soil. I mean, it is for health, yes, big time. You need water, you need nitrogen, and all these things. And certain kinds of nutrition that are in the soil part of the profile. But what we wait for, when you're talking about world-class wine, we wait for that point in time where the root system is past soil and begins to engage and mine the geology, the original geology. In this case, in these 2 wines, that's basalt. It's a flood of lava that came to us from the Blue Mountains all the way across the state border, from Idaho to the Pacific. And it covered us with this mantle of lava that cooled to this mother rock basalt. Soil has formed since, but we wait for that point in time where the roots are beyond that soil, below it, and engaging and mining mother rock. This wine is completely different. The Shea is in old ocean bed, which was actually here first, created by plate activity. And essentially it's sandstone and siltstone, very degraded, very old. And so here you're going to get a profile that's quite different. In the volcanics, the wines will tend to be more fruit driven. It can be red or blue or black, but it's going to be fruit driven. In the marine sediments, it's going to be savory, rustic, spicy, floral, really different. And that's because the mineral of these areas is so different. It's the mineral that drives profile.
Wonderful. We are excited for you to try them at home for your Spring Club shipment that will be available for pickup March 1st, or if you have it shipped to you, also March 1st as well. Our spring pickup party is March 4th with 4 bites for you to come and try and gather and do a walkabout tasting. I'll be there to help greet you with some Chardonnay and some other Pinots as
And
well.
I'll be doing the dishes.
And Ken will be in the back doing the dishes.
Because I'm good at that. My secret talent.
Well, thank you, Ken, and we look forward to seeing you March 4th.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Joe.